Welcome to In the Box Seat on the SA Sports Show. My name's Sean Matheson, the racing manager for GRSA. I'll be filling in for Ray Fewings, who's at the Alice Springs Racing Carnival, entertaining the locals up there. What we've got on the show tonight, we've got all the greyhound racing news and views, hopefully some tips for you to follow at home, and our special guest will be North Adelaide power forward Clint Halloway, who'll be joining us. Not only is a teacher during the day, plays football, but he also trains greyhounds, so we'll be having a chat to him a little bit later in the show. Looking at the national scene, this week we've got the SA Breeders' Plate, which continue on Thursday night here at Angle Park. They're the semi-finals, Group 3 level, which the final will be run next Thursday night. Also at Healesville, there'll be the Group 2 Healesville Cup. They had the heats on Sunday. The final will be this Sunday coming. So what's on racing in South Australia this week? I mentioned the SA Breeders' Plate, a classic event, Group 3 level. Thursday week should be a fantastic final. Also not to mention this Friday, Mount Gambier will be having their first Friday meeting. They currently run every Sunday fortnight, but they're going to have a Friday once a month. So it'll be interesting to see how the Mount go this Friday. Now the Honeys have been in top form tipping greyhounds this week. The In the Box Seat selection, Dancing JLo, got up last week at $7. So what they're looking at this week, on Wednesday, they like the greyhound Most Bizarre. Race 1, number 2. Good win last week in the Peters Eats kennel. Previous form indicates 600 metres will suit, so it looks a top chance. Race 10, number 3. Fuel Pump for the Honeys as well on Wednesday. Having the first start for the powerful Peter Jovanovic kennel. Has won 12 races. Loves the short course. Looks very tough to beat on Wednesday. Looking at the Honeys tips for Thursday night. They like race 1, number 1, Cabrian Rock. Very consistent greyhound, drawn nicely, has good speed, so should be hard to beat in race 1 on Thursday night. And race 4, number 3, Sometimes Speedy for Troy Murray. Forgive last start, a little bit disappointing, but found some trouble. Previous form was excellent and has terrific speed out of the boxes, so should be able to bounce on the front and be hard to beat. The first fours that the Honeys like are in race 1, numbers 1, 2, 7 and 8. And race 4, numbers 3, 1, 6 and 8. The In the Box Seat selection. I was going to have to get another winner here. They've been in fine form. Miss Woods is what they're going for. Race 9, number 8, Miss Woods over the distance. She's been in terrific form lately. Just ran a placing last week. She's won 5 races and 5 placings and 11 starts. Very consistent greyhound. Should be hard to beat. Race 9, number 8, Miss Woods. Now, dogs to watch. Ray sent through his dogs to watch. He's been up there at Alice Springs, had a look at the form for this week. And on Wednesday, he likes race 1, number 2, Most Bizarre, just like the Honeys. Should be very good a chance there. And also race 5, number 1, Sweet Honey Pie, has really good box speed. Ray likes that one on Wednesday. And on Thursday night, he's got 3 specials for us. Race 1, number 4, Point 2 Over. Getting into the veteran class, but a high-quality sprinter, looks hard to beat in race 1. Race 2, number 1, Megastar Supreme, also nicely boxed, a tough greyhound, should be running home strongly and looks a good each-way chance in a tough race. And race 10, number 3, These Pretzels. Very consistent greyhounds with 2 wins and 2 placings in his last 4 starts. He's drawn well, closer to the fence, and should be hard to beat. Very shortly on the SA Sports Show, we'll be having a chat to North Adelaide footballer and greyhound trainer Clint Halloway. Now on the SA Sports Show, it's time to welcome in our special guest, greyhound trainer Clint Halloway. Thanks, Clint, for joining us tonight.
Not a problem. Good to be here.
Now, Clint, a lot of people you'd be a very familiar face with a lot of people with your exploits with the North Adelaide Football Club in the SANFL. It's great that you're training greyhounds. Probably just the point I want to know is, how'd you get into greyhounds, and was it a love from a young age, or is it have you always had an interest?
No, it's not something that the family's ever done. I was living with a housemate in Melbourne, and we popped our heads over the fence one day when the football landed over there and noticed a couple of greyhounds, and and I sort of just got involved with the people next door, Gordon and Hazel Strawn, little shout out, and they've been great, and I often bounce off them with different ideas and stuff. So probably since then, which is about 10 years ago, I always wanted to get involved. It's only just been the last few years I've had an opportunity.
Okay, excellent. Now, you've got a couple of greyhounds. Busted Bird is probably more recognisable of late. Came to SA last year. Started off with a bang. I reckon Busted Bird won 6 out of 9 early on.
She did, yeah. No, she came here with only one win by her name, and quite proud to we banged on 6 wins in our first 11 starts. So that was quite a pleasant surprise. So yeah, good fun.
Now, I see she's going between 600s and 500s at the moment. Just trying to maybe just recapture some of her best form.
She is. She's a tick over 4 years old now, so she's only been here since she was a 3.5-year-old. So probably her best is behind her, but we're just still playing around. You're a long time retired, which is probably the reason I'm still hanging there footy-wise.
Now, we'll get to the footy very shortly because I know a lot of our viewers want to know about how the Roosters are going. But just with that, how do you find the time training greyhounds? Now, you've only got 1 or 2 greyhounds. Now, I believe you're fostering a greyhound as well.
Yeah, we've got the formerly trained dog crowd surfing. It used to be with Jan Jones, so she's put that into the adoption program, and my wife and I have registered ourselves as fosterers. So excellent. We've got Barney at home at the moment, who's given us plenty of reason to laugh and chuckle, and then he's in there with Busted Bird at the moment. So just the 2 of them.
Okay, now you also teach during the day and also play football in the SANFL. How do you find the time, and what would be a normal day for Clint Alloway?
Up at about 6:30 and go take the dogs for just a bit of an easy stroll for half an hour, and then get ready for work, off to work. Sometimes on a race night we come down here like tonight and kennel and then try and squeeze in the footy train around the rest of it.
Okay, now let's have a chat about the footy. The Roosters, 3-3 this year. Started off a little bit slow, lost the first 2 games, but really hit some form. And I suppose what put everyone on notice was the 14-goal victory against the Eagles a few weeks ago.
Yeah, no, it wasn't the way we wanted to start off ideally, but we've gathered a bit of momentum lately and won 3 of the last 4, so looking to take a couple more wins before the bye. The state game coming up in a couple of weeks' time, so everything's travelling well down there. We've had a couple of injuries last weekend, which were a bit unfortunate to some of our key players, but hopefully we can cover those losses.
Okay, now with James Allen, there's plenty of talk about him, about he's already won 3 Magarey medals, and you as a forward, I bet you love someone like James Allen who gets it 30 plus times a game, hitting you on the lead. He's a terrific player, and it must be great having him deliver you the ball.
No, certainly is. He's a very good footballer and a good mate of mine, so he's a pleasure to watch each week, and I don't know how he maintains the consistency, because he just seems to week in, week out do a very good job.
Okay, now you've got a few tough games coming up, as you said, after the state game, and you'll be back for that, just having a little bit of a let-off at the moment.
Yeah, just having a couple of weeks off for an indiscretion, but we won't talk about that.
Okay, going really well, so wish you all the best, Clint, with your football and also with greyhound training. It's fantastic that a young man like yourself has got into this sport, and you can really tell the love you have for it.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. That's Clint Alloway on the SA Sports Show, and so what we'll do now is wrap up and look forward to next week on the SA Sports Show. Ray Fewings will be back. Remember, you can catch all the action on the GRSA website at grsa.com.au, and we'll see you next week.